Hey guys, so today we have a monthly favorites video, favorites and fails. I don't really have that many fails, which I guess is a good month, but not a good clickbait title. But let's get into it because we have a few products to get through. This has been kind of like a eyeshadow palette heavy month, so there is a lot of just like good eyeshadow palettes that I really want to show you guys and just a few good products. So let's just kind of get into it. Let's do skincare first because this month's been kind of exciting for skincare. I finally tried Glow Recipe, and as much as some people are like, you know, Glow Recipe's not that great, it's full of fragrance and all of that stuff, I just feel like if skincare works but has a bit of fragrance and it makes me happy, then I'm gonna take that and run with it. Fragrance is gonna kill me, okay? And me applying face cream is better than me not applying face cream. I bought the watermelon range because I think the watermelon one is the one that makes me the most happy when I hear it. So I have the moisturizer, which is just in these glass bottles. They're so nice. It's great. I like it. It smells amazing and it feels so good, super light, but still hydrating. It's really nice. So this is that one. And then I have the Watermelon Glow PHA and BHA Pore Tight Toner, which is also in a glass bottle. The packaging is top notch. I love it. It makes me so happy. I also have the Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist, which I actually kind of use when I'm not wearing makeup and I want to top up like my skincare, but I don't want to put more face cream on. I just kind of spray this on as like extra hydration, but I also use this to top up my makeup. So I'll just kind of like spray this on my face or just spray it on my sponge and just tap it in to like make myself look more glowy or just to even things out. And I love it. It's such a good mist. I also bought one of their newer products called the Plum Plump Hyaluronic Serum Deep Hydration and Glow. It also makes me very happy. It's in the shape of a plum. And the last thing I bought from them is the Watermelon Glow Sleeping Mask. It's glowing radiance and smoothing. I believe it has AHAs in it, but very gentle, so you can use this daily actually. And it's just very nice. When I wake up in the morning, my skin looks so good. Like, I can't explain why my skin looks good. I just wake up and my skin looks clear. It looks less congested. It's like everything's just out. I don't know, my skin, it's like glowy but not like oily. Oh, this makes my skin look heavenly. Now into makeup. My favorite, and this is a repeat, so there are going to be a few repeats in this video, and if I repeat something, then you know you have to go and get it. Like, run out and get it, because that means I love it. I'm joking, because it could not work for you, but for me, it works and I love it. So it's the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Like I said, this doesn't work with the ABH Luminous Foundation. It peels up, but with every other foundation, as long as you don't like rub the brush around and you just kind of stamp things in, this locks your foundation in for the whole day. I've worn this all day and I'm not even creasing. There's just a tiny bit here, but I've like eaten, I've gone out in the rain. Can you see any raindrops? Like, I love this primer so much. It hydrates, but it also keeps your makeup in check all day. My two new favorite blushes that I've neglected all my other blushes for are the Colourpop Super Shock blushes from the Candyland collection. I know they have these not from the Candyland collection, they're just in slightly different packaging, but these also have a nice smell to them if you don't mind the smell and you just want to try some other shades. This is Gumdrop Pass and this is Gummy More. And I think they have one more which is like an orangey shade, which I've been eyeing, and they are just that Super Shock formula that you guys all know and love. This is this one. It's Gummy More. It's like a more nudie, pinky, just very neutral, but look how shiny it is. It's got like shimmer going all through it, and I love a shimmery blush. If you don't like a shimmery blush, do not get this because these are shimmery. You can see that. This is that one. I've already made a dent. I don't know, I love this formula so much for blush. I think it just makes my skin look more skin-like, and it doesn't do that thing where once you start applying bronzer and powder and highlight and blush, your skin just looks very powdery. This, like, look at that. That doesn't look powdery to me. It looks like I'm wearing cream blush without the drawbacks of cream products, which is you apply it over the wrong thing and all of a sudden your whole foundation is lifted and you can't wear powder, and you know, it's just, I think this is the perfect in-between of cream and powder. And then this is Gumdrop Pass. It's this one. It's definitely more like cool toned pink, and then this is more like nudie corally. These are so stunning on the cheeks. You can really build them up. They're very sheer when you first start applying them, even if you go in with a dense brush. They start out very sheer, but you can very quickly build them up, and then they end up just giving your face that beautiful glow. And these ones smell so good. I just love it so much. This month I also, in a first impressions, tried the Kosas bronzer in light soft bronze, and this is super powdery, so if you don't like a lot of kickback, avoid this at all costs. I like that it opens up all the way. I hate products that just are like this because I want to hold them up. This is the perfect shade for me. I obviously haven't used this a lot because I'm trying to get through my Project Pan stuff, but the formula on this is powdery when you tap your brush in, but then when you start blending, it's that like perfect, it blends so evenly, it's super shimmery, it's such a nice bronzer. Honestly, it blends like a dream. It's the perfect shade for me, like the perfect in between of cool toned and warm toned. I'm not wearing it today, I don't know why. I guess I'm just showing it to you guys that this is like perfect for me. Right now I'm wearing the Physicians Formula bronzer because it's in my Project Pan, but once that one is kind of like more done, I'm gonna get to this one because I love it. When I tried it, it was so good, like amazing. However, you have to be careful, like you tap in once and there's already just like things flying around, so it's very lightly pressed, but it's very nice and I love the packaging. It's super sleek and I like the frosted plastic look of things. I don't know, I like this new style. The next thing is I, in one of my favorites, added just the tint from Colourpop called Give Me Small. It's in the shade Give Me Small, and I ended up using up a bunch of it. This is the used up Give Me Small. And then here is a pretty much brand new one. I've used this maybe twice because it's new. It's still got the tip on it. This is the difference. This is how much I've used the Gimme Small one. If you guys didn't think that it was one of my favorite lip products, I love it so much. So I ended up buying 2 more shades, which, you know, it's just what you do when you're obsessed with a product. You end up just buying a bunch of it in different variations. So like I said, this is Gimme Small. This one is called Z Boys, which I'm wearing on my lips right now. It's a more browny, pinky, nudie look. And then I also have Rise and Shine, which is like a corally orange. You can really see how creamy these are from the swatches, but this is Rise and Shine, this is Z Boys, and this is Gimme Small. So this is how they look. They're very shiny, creamy, moisturizing. Like, I didn't use any lip liner and it just looks so good. So those are my favorite lipstick, lip crayon type products. My favorite new lip gloss addition this month is the Kaleidos Lucid Lip in Dramatize. It looks kind of like it would be like crazy on the lips, but it's not. It just is that like your lips but better kind of a look. Don't wanna show it to you guys. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. It's just so glossy, but it's like that your lips but better kind of a look where it doesn't like interfere with the rest of your face, but it's still very beautiful and super shiny. So that's been a favorite. For blushes, I kind of forgot about this one, but I bought a few, I believe 3 of these, but this is my favorite shade. I don't have anything that looks like this when it comes to blushes. It's in the shade Night Bloom and it's from the Garden Variety collection. And look at this shade. When I applied this to my cheeks, I was kind of scared, but it gives you that, you know, wintertime cold look. Doesn't sound that appealing, but it's a very nice look. This is what it looks like. Can you guys even tell? Like it's very pale pink, like very cool toned, but it's so good. I can't believe I'm obsessed with this shade. And this formula as a whole is just super blendable, very like light. You can build it up. It doesn't look too powdery, even though it is a powder. Oh my god, I'm already touching the mirror. It's so dirty. Oh. Anyway, it doesn't get too powdery or anything, and this shade might look a bit intimidating, but when you apply it to the face, it's not like super punchy, so you can kind of build it up as you see fit, but it's such a good shade. I was recently sent the Kaleidos Charisma contour palettes, and I stuck with the cool and light one, and I just finished my Charlotte Tilbury like airbrush flawless finish powder, and it was the perfect timing because I received this, and this essentially is the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush finish powder. So I'm using this the way I would that, and it's really good. It's been one of my, well, it's like a staple product for me. It's got a bit of coverage to it. It's not too matte. It doesn't look cakey under the eyes. It looks really good. It makes me look more awake. And yeah, I love this powder. It's super finely milled. This has replaced my Charlotte Tilbury powder. Of course, when I finish this, and I'm still not done with these, I'll have to repurchase the Charlotte Tilbury one. But right now, I'm loving this, and if I ever run out of all of these, then I'll just repurchase the whole palette, but very good. I recently bought the new Hourglass Christmas palettes, and I want to put all my Hourglass palettes into this favorites video. So obviously I have the old one from last year, which I used up the powders. I have the highlight, the 2 blushes. I believe this one is now a full size, which if you want it, get it. It's such a wonderful shade. It blends so beautifully. And then I have the bronzer, and I use these all year round. And then this year they came out with this one, which is stunning. These 2 are amazing. This like mauvey one so good. But to be fair, this year my standout favorite is the 4-pan quad that they released, which has a finishing powder, bronzer, blush, and a metallic strobe powder, because there is a difference between the big palettes and the small palettes. So in these palettes you get finishing powders and strobe powders, which essentially a strobe powder is a highlight, whereas a finishing powder is just what you put all over your face. These two are finishing powders. This one is the strobe powder, and you can kind of see the difference. So these are the powders, just the finishing powders. They add like a luminous finish, but they're not luminous like that. And then this is the strobe powder, which means it's more of a highlight. I don't know where you can see it, but it's somewhere there. Whereas in these palettes, you get, once again, one of the powders, but you also get a metallic strobe, which is just a more intense highlight. And you can tell it's kind of like more shiny. My explanations today are a little bit off, but this is what it looks like. You can tell from the get-go that it's just more highlighty. And this is what that looks like. It is nuts. This is perfect. I love this highlight so much. It's literally the perfect shade. It's the perfect like finish, consistency. Everything about it is perfect. I'm obsessed with these palettes, but mainly this one, which I didn't expect. I thought this one would be like my favorite out of these two, but I'm kind of edging towards this one. It's more compact. It's still got what you need. It's still got powder, bronzer, highlight, and blush, but this highlight right here is what dreams are made of. So I love this collection. If you can get it on a sale, then do it. I'm not saying pay full price because these are extortionate, but if you can get it on a good deal, I don't see why you shouldn't. I've also been thoroughly enjoying, once again, the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. It doesn't crease at all. Like, there is not a single crease under my eye. It just looks so good, and it's full coverage. It's kind of thick, but it doesn't do the whole like creasy thing. And this has been my favorite since I started using it again. So for like 2 months. And it's gone flying. So for like 2 months, this has been my favorite. I love it. I have in the shade Light Ultra Fair. It's such a good concealer. I don't know why I ever stopped using it. Another weird favorite this month is this brush, the Fenty 125 Face brush. It just looks like this. Along with the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. This foundation itself, probably not like my top favorite foundation, but I've managed to make it work enough that I can use it on its own without mixing it into other foundations, which is good because then, you know, I can use this up quicker. I'm pretty far down now with this one, and what I do is I open it, I dot it on the brush, and then I just stamp the brush just wherever I need it. And I'm wearing it right now, and I think it doesn't cling to anything. Like, there's no weird patches of weird foundation. So I think I've actually managed to make this look flawless, and I never thought I'd say that, but like, it was, we've been on a journey together, but this is the combination for this foundation to work for me. And I don't put it kind of all over my face. Essentially what I do is I stamp on the brush, and then I put it right where I need it, and then I blend it out kind of like whatever I have left over. So I'm not putting like a super thick layer all over my face. I'm just kind of putting thicker / thinner layers wherever I see fit. And then my most exciting favorites. It's sad that it comes after the project pan video because I already filmed my project pan video, but I put this in my last favorites video, and it's the Colourpop You're a Trip Super Shock highlight, which the Super Shock formula is just overall my monthly favorite every month. Every time I try like a new product with the Super Shock formula, I'm just in love with it. I bought this maybe a month or 2 ago, and I used it so much that I have, where is it? Hit pan. I don't know if you can tell, but you can see the piece of plastic peeking through. I don't know if you can see, like that right there is plastic. I've hit pan on a highlight that I've had for maybe just over a month. It's literally crazy that right here is pan. Like, I'm seeing the pan of the highlight, and I don't know if that means there's just not a lot of product in here, but I feel like I'm wearing it today. I've been piling it on because it just looks so good and never looks powdery. I love this highlight so much. Look at it. Look at this highlight. It's so good. I already ordered this in a different shade as well, but I can't believe I'm seeing pan. Who would have thought? And I have one fail of this month-ish, which is the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes Mascara from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the new mascara. The reason why I don't like it is because of the wand. So it's first of all a plastic wand, and I already managed to stab myself in the eye. It's also flat on one side and fuzzy on the other side. So essentially what you're supposed to do is take all the mascara built up on the flat side and use that to like pile onto your lashes and then comb through the plastic. That doesn't seem to work, so I always just scrape off the mascara and then try to use it that way. But once again, like, I just don't like plastic wands. But the main issue with this mascara is how kind of messy it is. So I'll start applying it and it will go everywhere, but even waiting for it to dry and scraping it off doesn't work. Like, it just has ruined my eyeshadow looks. So this isn't a favorite. I would probably use this if I'm not wearing any eyeshadow, but if I'm wearing makeup, I'm 99% of the time wearing eyeshadow. So this is kind of I'll need to wait for it to dry a little bit maybe, and then I'll give you guys some feedback. But as a first impression kind of a product, not my favorite. But I kind of knew that it wasn't going to be my favorite because it's got a plastic wand, if that makes sense. It's just not my preference. But if your preference is plastic wands, then maybe this will be your holy grail. And now we get into the exciting stuff, which is eyeshadow palettes. I've tried a bunch. So let's start with Colourpop, maybe. I ordered the Making Mauves and the Going Coconuts because, let me just explain myself. I saw that Natasha Denona was coming out with the Glam palette, which is like a cool toned, all cool tones palette, but it's mainly like shimmery shadows. I think there's only like 5 mattes and all the shimmers look very similar, and I just thought 15 eyeshadows that all look very similar for like £65. Instead, I went on Colourpop and just saw what cool toned eyeshadow palettes I can find. And these are the £9, which are, I don't know, let me just like guess, like £10 each maybe. So I have the Making Mauves, which is a cool toned pink mauvey palette, as the name would suggest. This is what it looks like. It's got 6 mattes. So you can create any variation of shades. You've got the more mauvey purpley, you've got the more pinky, like slightly more browny, and you've got 3 in the middle that are drastically different shimmers. The thing about the Natasha Denona palette is the shimmers look so similar to each other. These are drastically 3 different shimmers for 3 different looks. So you got the champagne-y one, you've got the pink one, and then you've got like this like light champagne-y one, but they're very different. And then I have the Going Coconuts for a typical neutral, cool-toned brown. I love this palette so much. It's got more of the like dark browns, it's got some lighter browns, and then in the middle it's got 3 drastically different shimmers. This is what I like to see because I feel like a shimmer is what drastically changes a look. So it's got 3 very different shimmers. They don't look the same. You've got like a bronzy shade, you've got like another like brown but slightly more like this leaning shade, and then you've just got like a white. I think this is perfect. This is all you need for a cool toned look. So I love these palettes so much. It essentially saved me like £45 when I have now these that I can use when I'm feeling very cool toned. I've also been enjoying the Garden Variety palette, which is bigger. I've gotten into these bigger Colourpop palettes because I feel like even though it's 15, it's essentially like the size of my hand, which isn't huge. It's still something you can travel with, and I think the like pattern on it is wonderful. I just bought the Hocus Pocus one and I'm waiting for that to come in. These are the shades I'm wearing on my eyes today. Essentially what I did today is I went kind of in this area. I used Stay Sharp just everywhere, just kind of in my crease, so on and so forth. I then went into Root 'em Up, which is like that dark brown just to deepen things up in the corner and just kind of slightly through the crease. And then I used Third Eye all over the eye. It's that beautiful like goldy bronzy, I just touched it. And then I went into Wavelength on the inner corner and just kind of dragged it into the like inner quarter. And that's it for the look. I think these are so stunning. Like there's some like nice, you know, you can essentially, if you go in rows, you can create beautiful looks. Like I just want to let you guys know. So for example, if you use this, obviously you get like a bronzy shade. And then this, you can do like a burgundy/greeny look. This is like an all purple look. This right here is like that bronzy warm look, and then here you can do like a corally deepened up look. There's just like the right amount of shades. This is a Super Shock shadow right here, and the rest are just normal eyeshadows, but they're very beautiful. Like this gold here is absolutely wonderful. Look at that, it's beautiful. But then this one is crazy. It's like more chunky, but it packs a punch. Look at that. It's this one called Wavelength. You have to be careful with it because a lot comes off on the brush, but it's very nice. There's this one and this one, which are also just very beautiful. You can see that, like, it's such a good palette where all the shimmers are once again drastically different. We don't want the same shimmers in one palette. This shade right here, Stay Sharp, is such a perfect brown for autumn winter looks, and deepened up with this, it's such a beautiful just like smoky eye, but it's still not too deep, because you guys know I don't really like deep eyeshadows, but this is like the perfect amount of deep for autumn. And then this purple right here, I can imagine myself using this a lot for the autumn time, which it's October 2nd today, so I'll probably be using these a lot. I know this came out as kind of like a springy time collection, spring summer, but I think this is definitely like you could use this for autumn as well. It's deep enough that you could definitely do that with the bottom row, or you can keep it kind of more light at the top, but very nice. This month I also tried the Kaleidos palettes. For the first time I tried Kaleidos shadows. I have 4 of these little ones. I have Futurism 1 Sci-Fi Green, which I tried this recently and it was great. I loved it. It reminds me of Gemini, but just like smaller. I also have Futurism 5 Electro Turquoise, which I tried recently as well. I used this one and then I deepened it with this one, and I put this everywhere and then this a little bit kind of in the inner corner. Beautiful look. Honestly, this is like one of the more interesting color stories, and I think the packaging is just so nice. And then I've got the 2 new ones that just came out, the Futurism 6 and 7. So I've got Lunar Lavender, which is one of my favorites. I think this is my favorite of the small palettes. It's so stunning. I love this shade right here, and I love this bluey shade and this for the inner corner. It's just so beautiful, and there's so much variety with this as well, because you've got the browns, and then this is the perfect nude palette. It's got like the browns, but it's also got like deeper browns and more cool toned browns, and then it's got this like gold, but then it's got this hot pink. It literally shifts from, I don't know if you can tell, right? It shifts from like brown, almost orange, to pink. I don't know if you can never show duochromes well on camera. Okay, so if you look at it from the side, it's brown right there, look at that, and then it's pink. It's just so good. I also got sent the Escape Pod palette, which is just like bigger. It's still very stunning. This middle shade reminds me very much on the eye of the Lunar Lavender bluey purpley shade. These 2 are very beautiful, and then there's these hot pinks, and then you've got the greens, which are also so stunning. These shimmers just feel amazing. They feel so buttery, soft, like they're just so good. I think, you know, this palette is just, if you don't like small palettes, you prefer having something with more variety to it, more shades, just something you can, you know, get more looks out of, then I think the Escape Pod is the perfect. It's still got some neutral shades, so you can still create those like neutrally everyday looks with these 2 browns. This right here, you can pick a few of these, or you can go more bold up here. I don't know, these formulas as well are so good. I don't know how they did this, but they did this. And just now, because I looked at the palettes, I remembered that I also got the highlighters, and I think these are also amazing. I do prefer the Colourpop Super Shock highlight, but these are close contenders, mainly for the packaging as well. Like, look at this little tin. I've got Star Surfer, which looks like this. They are so metallic. I've also got Diamond Dasher, which is definitely more pink. I don't know if you can even tell the difference on camera. And then Ray Rider is, I believe, like the more natural out of all of these. Definitely just like the smoothest. This one is definitely the chunkiest, and this one is the smoothest. But these are amazing, like so stunning. I want to try more of these, get more like experimental colors. I know they've got like blue on there, red, hot pink, but with my skin tone, experimental colors can sometimes just look awful, but I can still try, you know? So I love these. And that is it for today's video. If you have any favorites, let me know in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe, hit that bell. You'll be notified when I think of any new ideas to film. Main channel, social media links, and anything else in description, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.